most problematic thing for me, and I don't speak as an expert but as a practitioner, about this proposed bill is how it clubs different technologies, different platforms, and also different sizes of media organizations. Now, why is this important to understand? Because many of us have now migrated out of television into the YouTube-driven, YouTube first, but not restricted only to YouTube space. We did that for various reasons, but in many parts because we got disillusioned with what was happening in the television space, right? And we thought here was a space, it didn't have to be giant, you didn't have to be big media, you didn't have to be corporate media, you could genuinely be honest to your own authentic sense of what journalism should be. Now, what are some of the changes that, by the way, have already come in? I don't know how many of you knew the fact that at one point, if you were a digital platform, you were allowed to raise money from outside India, no questions asked, right? Foreign direct investment, 26%, no questions asked. Now, those rules have changed. Now, nobody has come and announced them and made a big announcement of them, but it directly impacts capacity to raise money. Let's start there. Then there was this idea of a grievance redressal mechanism that was brought in for all digital platforms. So we were told that you will now have to have a grievance redressal officer. Now, in of itself, it sounds perfectly innocuous. The audience should have some sort of, way to tell you we have a problem with your story. But what do you do if, for example, I do a program, as I do every evening, which streams live on my platform, and I have 100 people who write in an organized way, much like trolls on Twitter, or X as it's now called, and say, we are offended by this, right? Now I have to, as a small sort of 20% organization, spend money on having one person who will sift through all of these replies and reply to them, right? Two, if need be, I have to hire lawyers, and I think a lot of us have got by because we have friends and family who are lawyers. Literally, I'm being that honest that the kind of things we deal with, the first pressure is financial pressure. The first pressure is to complicate your financial viability.